Just imagine, you wake up in the middle of the night to the sound of an intruder breaking into your house. You have almost no time to react, and you have a family to defend. Your first and only thought should be how to survive this situation and protect yourself in your house, which is supposed to be the safest place in the world, right? Well, an Ontario man is facing charges after allegedly assaulting a home intruder. This is absolutely crazy, guys. He could end up in just as much, if not more trouble than the criminal himself. This is the absolute clown show that the Canadian justice system has become. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Johnny Says So. Make sure you smash the like button and subscribe to the channel on your way in. Now today, I want to talk a little bit about Canada's ridiculous justice system and the fact that criminals are often given a slap on the wrist, re-released into society with no real consequence for their actions, while homeowners who take reasonable steps to defend themselves and their family often have the book thrown at them. It's an absolute crazy situation, guys, and it needs to change. So I want to get into this story, which just broke yesterday. An Ontario man faces charges after allegedly assaulting a home intruder. An Ontario homeowner is facing assault charges after a violent encounter with an alleged intruder inside his apartment early Sunday morning. According to a release issued by Kawartha Lakes Police Service, officers were called to a resident on Kent Street in Lindsay at around 3:20 a.m. on August 18th, following reports of an altercation between two men. Police say the resident woke up to find another man inside his home. A physical struggle broke out, leaving the alleged intruder with life-threatening injuries. He was taken to Ross Memorial Hospital before being airlifted to a Toronto trauma center. The 44-year-old homeowner has been charged with aggravated assault and assault with a weapon. So just imagine for a second how terrifying that would be. You wake up in the middle of the night to the sound of glass breaking or your door getting kicked in, and all of a sudden there's a masked intruder in your house and you have no idea what their intentions are. So let's take a look at what you're allowed to do in this situation. In Canada, self-defense is a legal right, but it's governed by strict limitations outlined in Section 34 of the Criminal Code. You can use force to defend yourself or others, but the force used must be reasonable in the circumstances. This means there must be a reasonable belief that force is being used against you or another person, and that the defensive action must be proportionate to the threat. So that's absolutely crazy, guys. Somebody's broken into your house, and you've already ascertained that they have a weapon, but since you don't know if they are looking to cause you or somebody in your family harm, you're supposed to wait until that weapon is drawn on you, until you know that they intend you harm. So if they're just there to steal your TV, any force used against them in the eyes of Canadian law would be excessive. That's absolutely ridiculous. So it says here the key aspects of self-defense in Canada. Reasonable belief. You must reasonably believe that the force is being used against you or another person. Proportionality. The force used in self-defense must be reasonable in the circumstances. So basically they're saying that you can use force to defend yourself, but you better just hope the criminal retreats, because if you render them unconscious or end up killing them, you could be charged for assault or murder. So not only in this terrifying situation, you have to figure out how you're going to defend yourself, but you also have to make sure that you don't hurt the criminal too much. Now, I don't know about you guys, but in my opinion at least, it's perfectly reasonable to use enough force to completely immobilize the threat in that situation. But according to this, you could be charged with assault or murder if you go too far, which is absolutely ridiculous. So this is what happened here. The 44-year-old homeowner has been charged with aggravated assault and assault with a weapon. He was released from custody with a future court date. Meanwhile, police say the 41-year-old alleged intruder was already wanted for unrelated offenses. This is a common story in Canada. He now faces additional charges including break and enter, possession of a weapon for a dangerous purpose, mischief under $5,000, and failing to comply with probation. Now this charge is interesting, possession of a weapon for dangerous purpose. So obviously, the police deemed it reasonable that he was possessing this weapon to cause the homeowners harm, and yet the force used here was unreasonable. This is absolutely ridiculous, guys, and this needs to change. We need castle doctrine in this country, and we don't have it. So for those that don't know, castle doctrine is the idea that you have an indisputable right to use whatever force necessary to protect yourself in your own home. But police in Canada have been going out of their way to let you know that this isn't the case, with some helpful suggestions on how to roll over to these criminals. Check this one out, guys. Toronto Police advises residents to leave car keys within easy reach for thieves to avoid violence.
To prevent the possibility of being attacked in your home, leave your fobs at your front door. Because they're breaking into your home to steal your car. They don't want anything else. A lot of them that they're arresting have guns on them, and they're not toy guns, they're real guns. They're loaded.
Now that's absolutely insane to me. Home invasions have gotten so bad in some cities in Canada, the police almost don't have the resources to deal with it anymore, so they're just making helpful suggestions on how you can make it easier for the criminals. Now I'd like to see statistics on have car thefts gone up after they made this helpful suggestion? So I'd like to compare and contrast this statement to the police in Florida, where they do have a castle doctrine. Let's see which one's more reasonable, shall we?
157,500. And I want to say, as to the person, we don't know which homeowner shot at him. I guess they think that they did something wrong, which they did not. If somebody's breaking in your house, you're more than welcome to shoot them in Santa Rosa County. We prefer that you do, actually. So whoever that was, you're not in trouble. Come see us. We have a gun safety class we put on every other Saturday. And if you take that, you'll shoot a lot better, and hopefully you'll save the taxpayers money. So, with that, questions?
Now that's a refreshing take, and it certainly is quite the contrast to how we do things in Canada. Now I'm sorry guys, but I value my life and the lives of my family, and yes, even my property like my television or my car, way more than I value the lives of somebody who would break into my house to take these things from me. But castle doctrine right now is not a thing in Canada, and until politicians actually see these problems wash up at their doorstep, you can expect to not hear much talk about it. But it's interesting because Doug Ford, of all people, actually did have an incident like this happen to him. Now, somebody was near his property attempting to steal his car, and of course, Doug Ford, being the Premier of Ontario, he has police readily at his disposal, so he was protected. But this is a rare moment where I actually agree with Doug Ford. A broken clock can be right twice a day, and he is now advocating for castle doctrine in this country. Let's take a listen.
Did you hear about the guy that these thugs came up, ready to steal his car? They're all in their masks and everything. So I guess he was a hunter or something. He shot up in the air. I don't recommend that, by the way. But he gets charged. I got to find out this guy's name and number, and I'm going to hold a fundraiser for lawyer fees for him. He should get a medal for standing up. It's like down in the U.S., we should have the castle law. Someone breaks into your house, and I know any of these people here, someone breaks into your house, and they're coming after your kids, and you're coming after your spouse, you're going to fight like you've never fought before. You're going to use anything that you have, be it weapons, baseball bats, knives. You're protecting your family. These thugs shouldn't be coming in there.
So all in all, guys, this story perfectly encapsulates just how broken the justice system is in this country and how badly it needs to change. Criminals seem to be given priority over law-abiding citizens. Now here's hoping that these charges are reversed and the homeowner is not found guilty for taking, in my opinion at least, reasonable measures to protect himself and his property. But I'd like to turn it over to you guys now in the comments. What do you think? And as always, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Johnny from Nova Scotia says thank you. Hey, Johnny from Nouvelle-Écosse, il dit merci, thank you.
Thanks to you.
Thank you so much. Perfect. Yeah, come on.